Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
News at noon. These are the top stories we're tracking. Guyana to foot $1.3 million daily to rent supply boats for ExxonMobil. UK NGO says World Bank's Guyana outlook inconsistent with supporting climate change action, and locals complain about being paid less than expats for doing the same job at GYSBI. Meanwhile, opposition MP to appear in court today on cybercrime charge, 29 cops presently before the court on criminal charges, and BK Quarries Inc. admits breach of overtime payment loss, given 3 months to comply. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Guyana, please join me on the Glenn Lal Show, 99.1, 99.5 FM, Kaieteur Radio, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m. just in case you miss that program.
And now for the news in detail. ESSO is currently utilizing 24 supply vessels to support its drilling operations at the Uaru 1 well in the Stabroek Block at a cost of some $1.3 million daily. This is according to a notice published by MARID in a notice to mariners published in yesterday's dailies. According to the notice, ExxonMobil from Monday last continues with its drilling operations in the Stabroek Block, this time using the Modu Stena Karen to spud its Uaru 1 well, some 101 miles offshore Guyana. We understand that each vessel is being rented at approximately $55,000, which would mean ExxonMobil pays some $1.3 million in rent for each of the supply vessels being used. Kaieteur has since been reliably informed that according to the company's contracts, they are to be paid whether the vessel is used in a day or not. And now let's tell you, according to a July 14th article by Bretton Woods, the World Bank's first systematic country diagnostic for Guyana has been met with doubt by various proponents of the Guyana Civil Defense Society. The document posits that despite the urgent need to transition to a low-carbon global economy, the country will experience a substantial windfall from its new offshore oil development. According to the document, the development could see Guyana's per capita GDP rise to $16,900 by 2030, more than 2.5 times its current size. According to the article, this comes on the heel of research published in September 2020, which showed that the World Bank and IMF have routinely overestimated future revenues from new oil and gas discoveries over the past 2 decades, resulting in a resource curse in many countries characterized by a severe mismatch between policies and actual revenues. And moving on, local workers attached to the Guyana Shore Base Incorporation are complaining about being paid less than expats for doing the same job within the company. A number of local workers from the company voiced several issues that they are being faced with by the company. The workers claimed that during conversations with some expats, they were made to understand that they are being paid less than the expats that are working in the same field as they are, and stated that this act is very unfair and that as a local, they are being taken advantage of rather by the company. Several attempts were made by Kaieteur to contact the company and verify the workers' complaints, but all calls went unanswered. And now let's tell you, APNU AFC Member of Parliament Annette Ferguson is slated to make her first court appearance this morning before a city magistrate in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts for a cybercrime charge. According to Crime Chief Wendell Blanham, the MP will be charged in relation to a Facebook post in which she reportedly made false allegations against a high-ranking member of the GDF. Ferguson was arrested on June 30, 2021, after a senior member of the GDF made a report against her, alleging that she made false allegations against him in a Facebook post. She was later released on her own recognizance or self-bail, pending the outcome of the investigation into the matter. And moving on July 14, 2021, the Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, and Senior Labour Officer, Mr. Prandad Basdio, met with representatives from BK Quarries, Inc. to discuss issues highlighted during the Minister and team's routine visit to the company's Region 7 operations on July 7th. During the visit, the Minister and his team lauded the company's comprehensive housekeeping and occupational safety and health protocols, which included the presence of safety signs and availability of safety equipment for both workers and visitors. Despite this, however, the Chief Labour Officer, Mr. Michel Baburam, was instructed by the Minister to invite the company's senior management for a meeting to urgently discuss issues surrounding employees' welfare and overtime payments. And now let's tell you, employees attached to the Guyanese Manganese Inc. or GMI have engaged GAWU concerning some of the inhumane working conditions they are presently enduring there. GAWU yesterday revealed that through its outreach activities with workers there, the union learned that GMI was actively sidelining workers in favor of foreigners. The union shared that the workers have expressed their dismay over what they described as their abominable conditions of work. GAWU lamented that the workers highlighted to them that foreigners are enjoying adequate housing conditions and appropriate meals, whereas in their case the situation is unsatisfactory. According to the union, the workers claimed that skilled employees were being told to carry out tasks that are below their skills. This, the workers said, is demeaning, considering that they would have undergone extensive training in the specific field of work. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. Meanwhile, the proposed pipeline to be used for the intended gas-to-shore project being promulgated by the administration, and I quote, is unusual in its small size, placing it outside of typical construction and installation practice in deep water, end of quote. This is according to the findings of a study conducted by Energy Narrative back in 2018 for the Government of Guyana and the Inter-American Development Bank. According to that report, it was the preliminary engineering by ExxonMobil which indicated that the depth of water, combined with the internal pressure of the gas, leads to a minimum wall thickness of 1 inch. According to the report, the installation methods and equipment therefore may need to be modified to accommodate a smaller pipeline diameter for the proposed Guyana project, especially concerning bending and fatigue during the installation. It is now 12 hours 25. We will return with more news after the break.
Summer rush. Nobody's doing it big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Drive in style for the summer. Hey, Digicel Summer Rush.
Start topping up now.
This is GHK Lal, inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues, immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Chinese mining company Bauxite Minerals Group Guyana Inc. is currently installing an additional 4 megawatts of electricity in its Region 10 operations, bringing its total installed capacity to some 21 megawatts in order to facilitate expanded operations. The company currently generates some 17 megawatts of electricity to power its operations. The disclosure was made when Minister with responsibility for the natural resources sector, Vikram Bharat, visited Bauxite, one of Guyana's largest mining operations, for the first time since taking office almost a year ago. It was noted that in anticipation of the increased demand for electrical power when the new kilns are in operation and rapidly growing linen community due to the government's house law drive, the company is in the process of installing an additional 2 MAN gensets. This would add a further 4 megawatts of operating capacity. And moving on. According to the Commissioner of Police, Nigel Hoppy, a total of 29 ranks are presently before the court on various criminal charges. The Commissioner made the disclosure yesterday while speaking at the awards and incentive ceremony, where a total of 3,258 ranks and 28 community policing groups were awarded for their outstanding contributions in support of the Guyana Police Force. The top cop lamented that there are members of the law enforcement community who are faced with allegations of rape, robbery, manslaughter, assault, corruption, and neglect of duty. Despite those that have breached the police force's code of conduct and standing orders and the oftentimes unmerited criticisms, Hoppy said the force continues to perform its duties and responsibilities creditably. He urged members of the force to be professional in their behavior and conduct, to show courtesy towards members of the public, and to avoid corrupt practices. And moving on, alleged serial fraudster Micah Sonaram on Wednesday appeared before a city magistrate where he was slapped with 3 additional charges that should be fraud charges and remanded to prison for the offense. Sonaram of Flying Fish Street, North Rhineville, Georgetown, appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan and the Georgetown Magistrates Courts. The charges were laid summarily, and the defendant denied the charges that were read to him. The 24-year-old had previously faced the court on multiple occasions for fraud-related charges, but was placed on bail for those matters. Prior to that, Sonaram faced 3 similar charges after he reportedly defrauded several persons using his social media page, Parts Zone GY, which advertises that he ships parts and machinery. It was also reported that he faced 2 fraud charges, which alleged that he defrauded persons of over $11 million. With the time now moving on to 12 hours later, time for your COVID-19 update. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health reported that 3 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 506. Now further, the ministry reported 51 new infections, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 21,274. Presently, there are 10 patients in the COVID-19 ICU, 83 persons in institutional isolation, 1,130 in home isolation, and 1 person quarantined institutionally. To date, a total of 19,545 persons have recovered from the virus. And on that note, we now head over to page 7 of the Kaieteur News. Guyana's senior finance man, Dr. Ashni Singh, shared that his government will ensure a diverse, resilient economy to the visiting Caribbean Development Bank people. He can mislead them, but Dr. Singh cannot mislead us. The question is, from whom? Certainly he is not talking of the hungry, poor people of Guyana, or the many Guyanese youths without a job. He definitely has in his mind the private sector big shots who line up to collect their rich piece of the action, and the foreign predators who flock to Guyana now that they smell oil all the way at wherever they are. A diverse, resilient economy, it will be for them, but for the bottom of the barrel Guyanese, it will be most frustrating, waiting and hoping, and more of the same old disappointment. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. Kevin Smith here. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225